This video is for anyone who is looking to be talked out of purchasing the new Natasha Denona Bloom palette. First of all, I would say with my collection, especially from Natasha Denona, it is the most similar to her Mini Biba palette. If you also own the shade Galaxia, I know I have Galaxia in both Mini Starlit and Mini Retro. You also have a dupe of the prettiest shimmer in this palette, which is Equinox. I'm going to do my best to illustrate how similar both of those shades are. In swatches, the differences are almost imperceivable. I also want to point out that these are not duochromes. They have shifts because they have multicolored sparkles, but they're not true duochromes. On a curved eyelid, the differences might be slightly more noticeable. As you can see, Equinox from the Bloom palette has more of a blue shift, and Galaxia is definitely more peachy pink, but they're still pretty darn similar. So I would say, I don't know, you really don't need both. Plus, the formulas are identical. So if you like that formula, you know exactly what to expect from the Bloom palette. Personally, as much as I love the glassy effect of this shade, I am more than happy just having Galaxia. I don't feel like I need Equinox because it doesn't add that much to my collection. And Equinox is truly my favorite shade in this entire palette, so that's not great. Now I'll quickly touch on the similar shades in both palettes. I would say my favorite look from this palette is definitely the one utilizing the shades on my arm right now. And actually, those are the same shades that I was able to dupe almost perfectly. Of course, this isn't covering every shade in the Bloom palette, but it is covering my favorites personally. So I did definitely want to point that out. I also wanted to stress that after using this palette twice again this morning, I don't even have other makeup on. I just did 2 different eye looks. I even washed my face. So I've used the palette 3 times now. I don't love the quality. I'm still going to try to make the best of it and come up with a few more looks and see if I can like it a little bit better, but I really find the shimmers disappointing. They are usable. They are not so dry that you can't use them, but they really don't have very much impact. And I can't honestly say that Equinox is fabulous enough to save the entire palette. It just isn't worth it for me, and these shimmers do not live up to the quality of the shimmer, for example, in the Biba palette. That quality, the Yucca palette, like Mini Biba is so much better. It's just not a good investment in my opinion, unless at the very minimum you get at least 20% off.